Hey guys, it's Ty the Real Estate Guy, and today in this video we are going to go more in depth on the part of the construction process that leads up to the framing. So this includes digging the hole like you see going on behind me there and pouring footings and foundations, basically the whole process before we start the framing. So I just want to take you for a stroll through the hole where someone's beautiful house will someday sit. So here we are down in where they're going to be pouring footings in a few days. And I'm going to actually turn the camera around so you guys can see it a little bit better. So what blows me away is that some crazy huge machine can dig such an even hole, and obviously they use special equipment to make sure it's done correctly. And then of course this big section of dirt right here in the middle is, this property is actually gonna have a 3-car garage. And so they'll leave this soil here because they're gonna have to backfill anyway, so it doesn't make sense to spend all that time digging it back out. So the footings have just been poured on this house, and I'd like to give you a close-up of what that looks like. So if you look at it, you can see they've got these metal forms here, and you'll also notice they've got several pieces of rebar sticking up here. And the reason they put all this rebar in is so when they pour the foundation wall, it kind of helps tie this whole thing together. So they'll come in here and remove all these metal pieces that you see here around the edges. But it's kind of interesting to look at. We are preparing to pour foundation walls for one of our homes. Behind me here, you can see this big Dudley truck back here with the long extension right back through here, and the hose coming down. And then if you look over here, you have the cement truck, and what he does, he dumps his load into the back of this Dudley truck here, and then it comes down through a tube up here and down. And what you'll do is you'll get a couple of guys holding the end of that tube or that hose, and they'll just fill in between where they put the forms up. You see this guy down here holding this right here. He just kind of runs it along the wall there. see the concrete just spitting out the end of the tube that this guy is holding as he walks along the wall. And if you look at the video here, I'm showing the top of the foundation wall. So on each side here, you have the form here and a form over here, and he's pouring this all the way down. If you look here, it goes down about 8 feet there, and this whole section here is filling with concrete, and they'll just walk along like I'm doing right now and just fill this thing all up with concrete until it gets to the top. And then afterwards, they'll insert these metal pieces that you see right here, and this is what they're gonna put the 2x4s on top of before they start framing, or when they start framing. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a close-up of the foundation walls that we saw being poured yesterday. They've come in and they've removed the forms, which leaves just the foundation wall, and now the foundation wall will need a little time to heal. So I'll just kind of give you a quick video showing you the foundation wall, and let's go take a look. Okay, here you're viewing the concrete wall. Now, after they pour the concrete wall, it will need several days to cure before they can start doing any of the heavy work, or before they can start backfilling. This section here, you see this big pile of dirt here. That's the virgin soil here. This is where the garage will be, and that's why you got these gaps cut out here. And you can see those 4 straps kind of hanging out right here, and then you got 2 more straps here. You come back over to this side, you got the straps, you know, right here. Those are actually earthquake straps, so they help the house. If there's an earthquake, allow it to move a little bit, but not crumble. And then of course, you've got all these little pieces sticking out here. You can see like these little pieces of metal sticking out here. That's for them to put the boards down on top of when they're framing. So that's where they'll start that from. Okay, so I'm down here in the foundation, and want to kind of explain one thing really quick. If you look right here, this is of course the foundation wall here. And then of course when you come down here, you see this little lip right here. This is actually the footings that we saw poured earlier, and they put this foundation piece right up on top of it. Okay, so they just came and spray painted on the exterior of the foundation wall, and I'm just gonna explain to you what a few of these markings are. Behind me here, you see a 59 on the wall. That just means it's home site number 59, and that makes it easier for all the different trades throughout the process of the home to find the home that they need to do their work on. And so when they get their work orders, they'll drive out looking for that little number on the side of the foundation wall. And got a couple more other markings, I'll go show you. Okay, so this next mark you see here is this little orange line here in front of where they're gonna be putting in the garage. That is the fill line. So when the excavator comes back to fill in the trenches here and compact the dirt, he knows to stop at that line right there. And then of course, if you come over here, this marking is where they'll be running the power up from underground into the home. Okay, so if you look behind me, you can see that 2 things have happened since I shot the last video. Number 1, they've put the window well cover on, which you can see right there, the big silver thing. And then also you can see right here, this black stuff behind me, that's the waterproofing tar. They'll keep any water soaking through to the basement. So you can see where they stop halfway up this right here, not halfway up, near the top. That is where the dirt line will fill to. So they will not fill the dirt above that black line. Also, let's walk in here a little ways. I'm gonna kind of show you a few other things. Okay, so if we walk past this window well right here, you'll see these big metal pieces sitting in here. You can actually see the little markings from where those were placed. Also, if you look down in here through this window well, you can see that the plumbing lines have been put in. And so we've got the sewer clean outs and things like that set in place. You can see another one over here. And if you come to the top here, you can see it's protruding from the top of the foundation wall. So this will give you a better view of the plumbing for the basement. All right, I just want to talk about one other thing really quick. If you look at this column you see right here, this pillar, this is actually filled with concrete and it's resting here on this concrete piece of footing. So what you're gonna do when they finish the front porch is there's gonna be a column coming down, and the way that column will rest on this cement pillar that you see right here, that's resting on this footing down here, and that keeps the house from sinking into the ground. Anyways, I'll actually show you really quick what we're talking about here, just to make sure it's not confusing. Right here you can see behind us is this post that runs from the roof down to the concrete pad you see down here. Now this pillar we're looking at actually sits on a concrete pillar, the one I was just showing you, that rests down underneath the ground here on a concrete footing. So that way nothing will sink. Hopefully that helps explain that a little bit better. Get the backhoe right there. And it's actually been putting dirt in that hole right there. That's where the garage is gonna be. And then this is the basement, the section you see kind of right in here. And you'll notice back over here, in this far corner over here, you have a pile of gravel. And what they'll do is they'll put the gravel into the basement section. So now we've completed the backfill stage. You can see they've pushed the dirt all the way around back up against the foundation. And also if you look behind me here, down here you'll see they've poured all the gravel down into the basement area of the house. And they've also done it over here where they'll be doing inside of the garage. So this is ready to be poured here. And of course, if you turn around this way, you'll notice a bunch of lumber behind me. That means we are basically ready to start framing the house. So we're really close to the very end of this process. So we are in the final stage before we start framing. You can see the concrete pump truck waiting for the concrete truck to arrive so they can pour the basement and the garage, which you see here behind me in the video. And that's pretty much it. At that point, we'll be able to move forward to framing. Okay, you can see that they have finished pouring the garage, and now they have moved over and they're working on the basement. Okay, so it's only been about an hour since they poured, maybe an hour and a half since they poured the garage section. And so these guys are just out here smoothing it over, make sure it looks nice. They'll add a little water. Okay, if you look behind me, you can see that the concrete floors are done and the concrete has been completed in the garage as well. So this has been the whole process from digging the hole to the final concrete work. And next I'll start framing, but for this video, we're gonna stop here. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.